chances are you're watching this video on the biggest video sharing platform on earth, Vimeo. And if you're hip enough to have browsed the internet for longer than 2 seconds, you would know that the internet is a cesspool of opinions. Anywhere you go on the World Wide Web, be it from Twitter to 4chan and everywhere in between, you'll come across an opinion at one point or another. And you may have agreed or disagreed, or been completely neutral with the opinion presented. But how do you deal with it? How do you present and accept an opinion? Is everyone entitled to their own opinion, and can some opinions be considered wrong? Well, that's what we'll be taking a look at today. Welcome to How to Share Opinions. So, being a person watching this video right now, I presume you've been on the internet plenty of times before, and have come across people having discussions of all kinds. And by people having discussions, I mean stupid 6-year-olds venting their frustration in a 3-word sentence that makes you wonder if the modern educational system is even remotely helpful to the point of mispunctuating simple words and phrases that can be easily ironed out with some simple English exercises that they haven't learned yet because blah 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 blah. To learn how to share opinions, we must go to the headquarters of opinions themselves, a place that many of you already know. YouTube.com is the site you are currently on, and through every video you will ever watch on this site that somehow isn't a 24/7 Family Guy livestream, you will come across an opinion at some point or another. Be it from talking about their opinions on movies, games, books, other YouTubers, cartoons, anime, brands, news, or TV shows. And you can almost always find that one guy who had nothing to do but complain about it in the comments. Understand that sharing your opinion is your right, no matter if it's on an online environment or not. Freedom of speech is what each person has the right to, in good countries at least. And certain opinions can be subjectively wrong in different contexts. But we'll get to that a little bit later. For right now, let's go through an example. Let's say iDubbbz makes a content cop on a YouTuber I really like. He goes through why he thinks that person is not a very good one and why they make vapid content. Now, I can take this in 2 ways. I can either see all the negatives in the video about someone I admire and hate iDubbbz for ever being born, or I can think about it like an adult and come to my own conclusions about if some of them are right or not. But don't be mistaken, no opinion can be subjectively wrong, but it's on the perception of the people listening to it. Say that I hate rap music, for example. To me, a relatively chill ambivert who enjoys serene classical music and smooth pop and jazz, rap comes off as crass and in your face, especially when you realize how many rappers die of overdoses each year. But to someone else who likes rap, that may come off as offensive or wrong to them, because that's a genre they enjoy and they find it makes them happy. Let me put it to you this way, opinions in comedy are equally subjective. You can find something funny when someone else doesn't, and vice versa. Just don't take it out of hand. Again, political debates are a great way to bring out people's opinions and have genuine discussions with people, rather than just talking about the weather. But when people call the other political party different things, which I'm obviously not going to say, or full-on fistfights or protests happen, let me just say it makes you look like an entitled brat. So again, if you have an opinion you want to share, no matter how unimportant or insignificant it may be, just know you have the freedom to speak your mind. But don't go out of hand and swear at cops just because I said that. Just realize that when you vent your frustration in the comments in the YouTube video and dislike it, you are helping the video reach more people due to more engagement, so just keep that in mind. You may notice in my animation reviews I do on my channel, I usually say, well, there were 5 22-minute specials in this season, and 3 of them were some of the best the series ever had, even better than the pre-movie specials in my opinion. We can see the voice acting here as well, which isn't the best in my opinion, especially Eddie's, just an awesome episode that in my opinion is one of the best ever, and could rival some of my other favorites, like Bang Geeks and Can You Spare a Dime. So I think it's important to say that this video is completely my opinion. This season is way weirder than the other ones in my opinion. Every few minutes or so, just so people know that I'm not saying it's a fact, but rather sharing my viewpoints on something's quality, which is what my fans are here to see. So yeah, don't pretend you're right whenever you say something, because there will always be someone in the world who will disagree with you to some extent. I'm not telling you to not say your opinions because of that one guy who disagrees with you, but realize that no other person on earth has the same brain as you do. Before we continue with the video, I want to bring up something that I always come back to whenever someone gets offended by something.
So all of you people out there who hold these words at such high esteem, you are giving it the power that you so desperately want it to not have.
Racism, sexism, homophobia, Nazism. All of these things are generally considered to be bad things, right? But aren't they just bad opinions?
I get that maybe 1 out of 10,000 people in America are still overtly racist, but who gives a shit about them? Let them be racist. It's just an opinion.
Why do we take these opinions seriously? because all these opinions lead to some sort of consequences. Nazism, for example, may be just an opinion that Jews in certain other groups are inferior, but that small opinion was one of the biggest factors in the creation of the Second World War. Sure, you could say as a racist that it's just your subjective opinion, but in that case, a terrorist could also say that wanting to bomb a school was just an opinion. So I guess the conclusion is to just not share your opinions if they result in obvious consequences, especially on the internet. For example, politics?
Fun fact, whenever you state your political beliefs publicly, you lose the chance to work with a lot of people because you blabbed about what you think is right. Jello here thinks that he's right, and after this video, I feel as if a lot of YouTubers won't want to work with him in the future.
So I guess the moral of today's video is, just don't take opinions too seriously, and think about what you say before you say them, especially online, because it can come back to bite you in the future. And next time you say your opinion, just remember that the word opinion derives from the Latin opinari, meaning to think or believe. So just like how you think or believe, know that your opinion is nothing but yours, and no one has the exact same viewpoint as you. So I guess, opinionate responsibly? Thanks for watching my video discussing my opinions on how to share opinions on other people's opinions on opinions of opinions. Be sure to leave your opinion in the comments below, and I'll be sure to respond with my opinion of your opinion on my video about opinions. Consider following me on Twitter and joining my Discord server to chat with me and hear my opinions, and check out some of my other videos, like my retrospective giving my opinion on all of SpongeBob I made for the 20th anniversary, or my recent review giving my opinion on an episode of Ed, Edd n Eddy. Thanks for watching, and I'll share my opinions with you next time. Ciao!